Popular Temptations concert. Well, thank you for coming here to celebrate with us tonight. I love this class, the class of 2010. We have coined ourselves the Perfect 10 because of the year 2010 and because we are perfect. Not because there are 10 members, because clearly there are 13. I want to point that out because I know somebody's... That boy's graduating can't even It's 13. We're very appreciative this year to be given the task of Madam President, and we work very diligently to bring you something today that's tangible, decent, and in order. So here to talk about that charge a little more is Ms. Chantel Olderson from Iowa.
Good evening, everyone. Madam President gave us, the ELI class of 2010, a charge that was twofold. The first part of our charge was to develop an evaluation tool to assess the effectiveness of each component of the Emerging Leaders Institute. This tool was then to be used to complete the first comprehensive evaluation of the ELI process. The second part of our charge was to develop a toolkit of resources to then be used by ELI facilitators in the future. It is the results of this charge that we will now humbly present to you.
Good evening. Good evening. To gauge the effectiveness of the ELI program, the evaluation tool was created to test the main objectives, which are the following: for 100% of the ELI participants to take leadership positions within their regional and state organizations, for 75% to attend all ELI required trainings, 100% of participation will complete an approved project and present to the MAEOPP board, 90% will demonstrate an increase in their knowledge of COE and MAEOPP, and 90% who participate in all required trainings will graduate.
Good evening. As implied by our charge, MAEOPP has invested a considerable amount in the Emerging Leaders Institute. Due to the fact that TRIO and MAEOPP are very data-driven, we, with the aid of MAEOPP Treasurer Robert Jenkins, have compiled a picture of ELI expenses from the years of 1998 until the present. During this time period, the MAEOPP board has contributed approximately $16,000 to $18,000 to the ELI process annually.
Now we would like to present a few of our findings from the survey. Over the past 15 years, 40% of the MAEOPP presidents have been ELI graduates. After completion of the ELI program, 95% of participants felt they had an increased knowledge of the history and organization of MAEOPP. 99% of ELI participants stated that they had completed a project and presented it to the board. Within 2 years of graduating from the ELI program, 89% of participants secured roles as a chairperson or an officer.
After having completed the ELI program, 82% of participants said they were very knowledgeable on the history and organization of COEs. After having completed the program, the ELI participants feel that they are very knowledgeable on the history and organization of MAEOPP board procedures. The ELI program has surpassed its benchmark of 75% of all attendees attending the training, with 85% of ELI participants indicated that they have done so. 71% of ELI participants secured a role as a chairperson or officer within their state or regional chapter during their ELI participation.
Good evening. After having completed the ELI program, 95% of ELI participants felt they were very knowledgeable on the history and organization of TRIO. And after completing the ELI program, 93% felt very knowledgeable on the history and organization of ELI. And over the past 15 years, 28% of the chapter presidents have been ELI graduates. We also like to share one of our fun facts is that
In the total, we'd like to share the total amount of money raised from 2001 to 2009 by the Emerging Leaders Institute and MAEOPP activities, which totals $41,725.39.